It's time to tune in to In Tune on the Patriots In Tune channel. Right, what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much, Pit Crew. And we got our guest here. We have the Trump lady, and you look beautiful tonight, sweetheart.
Well, hello, Patriots. How is everyone doing tonight?
Oh, Trump lady, we are so honored to have you with us.
Oh, it's a great moment for me. I'm clutching my pearls, just excited as all get out.
I have been looking so forward to this interview. I have been a fan of yours forever. I think you were one of the first accounts that I started following in 2016, and it's because you had such creativity in all of your, not only in just your tweets, but also in your skits and everything else. Tell us about Trump Lady. How did you come up with this?
Well, I started to do impressions when I was a kid. So I've been doing impressions for a long time. And I didn't want to do an exact impression of Dana Carvey. You know, he's very breathy. He's very, well, isn't that special? So I kind of wanted to do more of my own voice so that I could get more commentary, So I decided to just mix the Trump with the church and make it a satire and just take it off from there.
Oh my gosh, and it is so great too what you're doing. I just think it's absolutely fantastic, and we're going to play a whole bunch of your vids tonight. Thank you so much for sending them to me. I have to tell you, I did warn everyone on the show. I said you are going to love Elizabeth Warren. Your impression of Elizabeth Warren had me in stitches earlier today.
Oh, great. Is there a way I could see? I'm new to this live stream, so I'm trying to figure out how to see myself, and I can't see.
Oh, you don't see yourself?
You should be able to. What you would need to do is you would need to log on to the YouTube channel, and then make sure that it's muted though, because if it's not muted, then you're going to hear us like 4 or 5 seconds later.
Well, yeah. I'll just wing it.
You look great. You look great.
Fabulous.
Doesn't she look great?
Thank you very much.
So I thought we would start with a video so everyone kind of gets to know who you are and some of the work that you have done, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds great to me.
Let me get over here.
I got one quick question.
Go for it.
You had something with the Constitution. Is that yours? You wrote that song and the words and everything? Is that yours?
Yes. Yeah. That was actually to tell you the truth, before we hear the songs, I just want to tell you how I started writing them. I was originally just going to do comedy, and then I sat down and wrote a silly little ditty called I'd Rather Be an Elephant Than a Mule. And after I did that, I said, well, wait a minute now. I could do some political songs. Why not write some? So about a month later, I said, Parkland happened. Do you remember Parkland?
Of course.
When the shooting and the children? Oh! So I decided to write my first big song. It was a song about false flags in our country. Mm-hmm. So that's how it kind of started off. And I'm telling you, I sat down to write these songs and they just came right out. They were like a gift from God.
Toots, you can relate to that.
I can relate to that. Yes, it is. It's a special gift that God has given some of us to do, and we proudly and are happy to share it. And so these are all your songs. The only reason I'm asking is because we have a problem if there's a copyright issue. We're not allowed to play anybody else's songs. Like
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have full reign of my own songs.
That's all. That's the only
music and lyrics.
That's
awesome.
That's so amazing. So were you always a Trump supporter, Trump lady? Oh, I think we had a little freeze on the.
I thought she couldn't believe how crazy that question was. I was about to freeze up too after that question. Her name is Trump Lady, for God's sakes. It looks like we lost Trump Lady. We're gonna get her. She'll be back in a set. Let's see how we can get her.
Here's
back.
what we can do. You know what we'll do? We'll play one of the videos.
Let's play. You want to play the Elizabeth Warren or one of the?
Well, I've got them in order, so that she'll be able to follow us. And
okay, good. We're gonna play that, and we're gonna check on Trump Lady, make sure she is okay, that she didn't end up at an Antifa rally.
That she didn't end up, choking on those pearls. We got to make sure of that. Let me grab this and get this up here for you guys. Here we go. And this is her channel. I will definitely drop all of her information into the Pit Crew so you guys can check it out and you can follow and subscribe.
Scapegoats and patsies. Back in them Lee Harvey days, we all thought he was guilty. Then along came Jack Ruby, and the public's trust starts wilting. So many years go by, and then they all find out the truth, that our CIA and our FBI grins with the rotten tooth. Stephen Paddock had the goods that made a perfect crime. He never had a problem yet, they watched him all the time. In Vegas with the cameras on and lights across the sky. Will we ever know what Lombardo knows, much less the FBI? The scapegoats and the patsies are just tools to get their way, empowering legislation to promote our land's decay. If we don't come together, it ensures that they will stay. And the time will come when all our efforts forever thrown away. Now we have Nicholas Cruz adapted for our pending. Kind of like the file on him and the red flags it was sending. The cowards of Broward County were protecting the Quran. And those evil politicians' day of reckoning will dawn. The scapegoats and the patsies are just tools to get their way, empowering legislation to promote our land's decay. If we don't come together, it ensures that they will stay. And the time will come when all our efforts forever thrown away. The scapegoats and the patsies are just tools to get their way, empowering legislation to promote our land's decay. If we don't come together, it ensures that they will stay. And the time will come when all our efforts forever thrown away.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. I just love that. Here we go. Trump Lady is back with us.
Trump Lady, unmute yourself, Trump Lady, on the bottom to the left.
Here we
Got
go.
it.
There you are.
Yeah.
She's back, everybody.
When I asked you if you were always a Trump supporter, all of a sudden we
froze up.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that special? Yeah, I've always been a Trump supporter. Voted for the man. Never voted for Obama once, which means I had to vote for Mitt Romney.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And McCain.
Yeah.
Yep. We're all guilty of that. Yes,
Right,
indeed.
right. We had no choice, right?
No,
Yep.
we did not.
Let's just pray my internet doesn't go down again in this next half hour or so.
Well, it's
where,
okay.
where are you?
If
What
it
part of
does,
the
we can
what,
bring you back
what
on.
part of the country you coming from?
Oh, I'm out in Los Angeles.
Oh,
And,
yeah, in LA.
Yeah, and I think I've been victim of a hacker or something, because the
no.
past week, every day, once or twice, it just goes out and comes back on in about 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Really?
So
Julie's
you're
from LA.
here with me. You're on my side of the coast. Yeah.
Hey, the West Coast is the best coast, right?
I know. I just wish we could change some of the minds. And I think we are. I don't know if you've seen a change, but I have drastically.
Oh, definitely. California's waking up. Look at all of the crap they've been dealing with. In fact, it's getting worse in New York, actually. It's worse in New York than it is in California. At least California, there's not any, we don't have Andrew Cuomo. Let's just say
Oof.
that. Well, we've got Newsom, Duke Newsom. I call him the Duke. He thinks he's the Duke.
Oh, he's so slimy and
I
horrible.
call him the puke.
I like that better. That's much better. And over there in New York, we got Princess Cuomo. Thinks he's
Oh,
just the cat's meow of a governor, the love gov. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah, he's
so
really
good.
strong. He's got blood on his hands, my governor. This guy
Oh,
literally put people to death. I mean, it's sickening. It's disgusting.
absolutely.
It
So,
really is true. I mean,
Absolutely.
but you know what's great, I think, in a lot of ways, is that they are revealing themselves for who they are and what they're doing.
Exactly. And I think that's what Trump wants them to do.
I do
He's
too.
kicking back, watching them to make asses of themselves. And who wants to vote for an ass? Well, that's actually their mascot, the Democrat mascot. So there you go.
that's a good. I like that. That's a good point. What kind of idiot would vote for an ass, and then you remember that they're voting for the donkeys?
It is true. My gosh, they're pretty bad. And just to think that, yeah, I voted for the ass. Okay, so yeah, and a lot of people did here in California, but I think a lot of people are really getting sick of it. The protest, the double standards about wearing masks. Whether
Yeah.
you're protesting or whether you can go to a rally or what you can do, or whether you can sing in church or not. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a total catch-22. It doesn't make any sense to anyone, and people are, especially here with us, Trump lady. I mean, we love to go outside. We love the beach. We love the mountains. We love the
It's
desert.
California.
Right.
Yeah.
We're always busy.
Keep them in, gruesome Newsom. Keep them home.
He's jealous.
Gruesome Newsom. I like that. That's it. That's
That's
what he
Jules.
is.
That's what Jules calls him.
Yeah, I call him gruesome.
like that.
I like that he's
Yes.
keeping you guys in over there. We're jealous of you, California people.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to figure out why these people hated Trump, before all of this. That's the one thing. The conservatives on our side that used to hate Trump. I'm always curious as to just exactly why. I mean, if
Doesn't make
he was
sense.
he was talking about trade, foreign trade, and all that long ago.
35
America
years.
first. I
Yeah.
learned America first from my daddy. So my daddy was actually pre-Trump, and he would have been pro-Trump if he'd been alive today.
Yeah,
Definitely.
my father too. Amen. Till
God
I
rest
pops
their
up in
soul.
heaven. Yeah, they're looking down and they see it and they're very proud and they know what's going on. But yeah, it's amazing. You would think that these Republicans, you know what it is? They're just afraid to admit that they were wrong. How could you keep being a soldier? We've all been wrong. We've all made mistakes. You just say, "Wow, I can't believe I was wrong about that," and you
It's
move on.
crazy.
And
It's
some of them have
crazy.
came around. Some of them have. Even Glenn Beck came around. He was the biggest shock to me. I couldn't believe how he didn't get it, but he came around.
Right.
But you got
Right.
these people that are just so dug in, and they don't make. I don't know how they listen to themselves talk. It doesn't make any sense. They call
It's
themselves
just crazy.
conservatives. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The environment that we're in right now is probably the craziest environment we could have ever imagined. Crazier than Nancy Pelosi on a good day.
Oh, gosh, she's so horrible.
It's awful. And who do you suppose is behind all this mayhem and madness going on in our Democrat cities? Who do you suppose it is, huh?
George
Definitely.
Well,
Soros.
I'll just take a stab. Let me take a stab in the dark left.
Yeah.
Could it be Soros?
So true. It is so true. Soros is like the worst thing that has ever happened. I cannot believe it.
I
cannot
actually
believe
think it's
he's
the
able to
devil.
do-
I'm starting to think it's the devil himself who's
Yeah.
behind this.
He's the
I don't
devil
even.
incarnate.
I don't even think it's Soros anymore. I think it's the devil who's
Well,
behind
my
this.
theory is I believe he's trying to outdo Hitler. See,
Oh.
remember, I guess him and Hitler were buddies.
That's
So
right.
he helped out Hitler there, and hey,
People
and
don't even know that
inspiration.
part of it.
you can be
People
10
don't even
times
know
worse
that.
than the man, huh?
Yeah.
How's that for a goal in life?
Yeah, for
Mr.
an idol. That was his
Soros.
idol.
And you
Yeah.
see exactly who he's funding. He's funding these AG races and getting involved
Oh, yeah.
on
He's
local.
funding all the Marxists.
Yes.
All the Marxists and the Maoists and the communists. He's funding them all.
I
Him
know.
and a bunch of his billionaire friends.
And they cannot see through it. And it's because, that's the thing. That's how dangerous the media had gotten. And I was so happy when Trump actually started talking about the fake news media. He knew that they were going to start going after him once he started winning. And so at the very beginning of his campaign, he started calling them out for their lies because he knew
Yeah.
that that's what they were going to do. It was going to be a hit campaign. And that's what they've continued to do. Here we are, 3.5, almost 4 years later, and they have not stopped once. They have not pulled back at all.
And they've been wrong about everything.
Yes, they have.
And they don't care. They just
I
keep
have
going.
people that won't speak to me anymore because they know I'm just going to say, ha ha ha, how's that Russia investigation? Ha ha ha, how about Ukraine? Is it Mueller time yet? I mean, there's a lot of things I could say, and I choose not to.
Well, could the media get any more wrong than they are right now? I mean, I never in my life thought that I would be hearing the media arguing in favor of violence.
Exactly.
That's beyond the pale. They are
Yes.
actually arguing they're debating our press secretary over violence. They're in favor of violence. They literally are basically saying it.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So we should have them go, okay, good. So how about we're going to go to your house? I mean, I don't know why the Republicans just don't reverse the question. Say, so you would be okay if the Tea Party went to college campuses and just started smashing everything up, burning down buildings, burning down books that socialist communist books. Would you be okay with that? Who the hell would be okay with that? I would. Listen, I don't believe in anything. I think we should boycott the colleges, but I don't want to burn them down. I mean, it's insane how crazy these people are.
Total insanity. And we didn't sign up for it.
Well, you look absolutely stunning tonight. I want you to know that Linda Bishop is talking about your look and just says you look amazing. And so does
Thank you, Linda Bishop.
so do many others in the chat room. So were you somebody that actually watched a lot of Saturday Night Live, and that's how you decided on this character? Because I think the character is absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely, I did. I loved Church Chat. It was just a staple for my Saturday night, my weekends. If I was home, of course, if you're home on Saturday night, you're probably not so popular, right? Once in a while, I would tune it in. But also, we would go out to the bars and they'd play Church Chat in the bars. So we would see it, and it was just wonderful. We'd laugh, and Dana Carvey he just had his own way of things. His own way of saying things. Boy, I'm getting tongue-tied. So about, I don't know how long ago, about 3.5 years ago, I decided, let's do a little Trump lady. And then people were asking me, so what happens if Donald Trump doesn't win in the next, isn't reelected? And I say, well, I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm not worried. I think he's got the biggest chance ever, bigger chance this time than he did last time. Look at all the stuff to compare. You know?
Well, you know what you could do? You could take a sledgehammer and hit yourself in the face and say, I'm Biden lady.
What?
I'm Biden lady.
I'm Biden lady. Knock you through your teeth out. Just there.
Well, Biden doesn't even know where he is, so I mean that would be fitting, I mean, he's just one of those things. I cannot believe that he's actually the front runner. I cannot honestly believe that's who they put in front. And Bernie too, both of them. I mean, two white males who they're supposed to be against, and here these were the front runners of their party, and again, old white males and millionaires, both of them. Right? And so you've got everything that this party claims to be against. And they stole it from Bernie, not once, but twice.
Twice, exactly. So I still can't believe some of the things I hear Joe Biden says. Well, what was that? One of my favorite ones was, people are dying who haven't died before.
That just means they have new voters, new dead voters.
And now he's on TV talking about the grandma. They're going to get the COVID. They're going to get the COVID. What is he talking about? He's trying to put panic in the people. Is the COVID. They're going to get the COVID. Oh, please.
It's really amazing.
Biden. You're the last person I want to take medical advice from.
Exactly.
We've got Fauci to deal with.
And it's funny because when I was saying how you got to admit when you're wrong, well, when they first came out with this, whatever it was, I kind of was like, you know what? Let me follow this. Maybe they're telling the truth. I was like, this could be real. 2 weeks. All right, we'll give it 2 weeks. Then it went a month. After that, I'm like, what are they doing? And I said, I can't believe they got me. I actually believe these idiots. Why would I ever trust them? And my biggest rule is you never trust the liberal scuzzball. Never. And I went against my own rule, and it kicked me in the ass. And you just never ever trust them. But I did it. But I admitted it. I said I was wrong, and I admit I'm wrong. And I got so many friends now that are so afraid, and they're wearing a mask and this and that. And I'm like, I don't even want to argue with them about it. I'm just like, listen, if you want to wear it, wear it. Just don't get mad. People who want to wear it, fine. If they don't want to wear it, fine. Don't start, imposing your stuff on them and let everybody do what they want to do. But it's so crazy.
Well, I haven't watched the coronavirus briefing that our president did today yet. I was going to wait for later on to see it. So I hope it's good.
Well, he's come out and he said he's going to do a lot more press briefings, which I think is fantastic. I love when President Trump speaks and when he connects with the people and he actually gives them the real information, the facts and the figures on what's going on. You certainly can't rely on the MSM to do it. So I would much rather it come from the president.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they didn't like when he did it before. Remember, they always want him to talk to the press. And then once he's talking to the press, they don't want him to talk to them.
Right.
Like they sit there and bitch. Oh, how come he's not taking questions from the press? Oh, he just did that 2 days ago. Well, how come he's not doing it today? And then when he comes out, they don't want him to. They cut the camera off of him.
It doesn't even matter what he said. I mean, all he needs to do is come out with a Trump mask, which he did, and start wearing one on a regular basis. And then they're going to say, it's so bad for you, though. I mean, so if he wants to win any argument, all he has to do is do something else that he wants.
I really hope that's the plan because I can't stand these masks.
They're ridiculous. I mean, I can't stand them either. And honestly, I really do feel like they're bad for you. And some of the tests that have been done have proven it. And, I mean, I'm totally not buying or digging anything that we call him Dr. Falsey here.
I call him Dr. Slouchy.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
He's a slouch.
He is. And, and then they have him on all these magazine covers now. And now he's throwing the first baseball for the Nationals. I mean, he's just, gross. I just want to die when I see it.
Yeah, that just ruined baseball for me. So now no more football, baseball, NASCAR. I'm done with everything.
You're just going to play music from now on, which is good. It'll keep him out of trouble.
With the sports. I don't care. I
will watch. Yep, you got the music.
Music. You sit back, put on Me TV and watch the old 70s shows. That's it. I don't need any of this nonsense anymore. I'm so done with it.
So
you know what we got to do?
I really want to play the Elizabeth Warren. Yes. It's so good. Do you mind if I go ahead and play that, Trump lady?
No, absolutely. Please go for it.
All right. I just love it.
This is good. You guys are going to like this. You did a great job.
Oh, my gosh. By the way. Seriously. I mean, you're just so talented. So let me grab this. And here we go. Let me pull it onto the screen. You can see it, right, Toots Sweet? I'm not dancing with myself, right? You can see the screen? Toots? Oh, he muted. Okay, he can hear it. He can see it. Here we go.
Muted myself. I wanted to tell you, no, you're not dancing with yourself. You're dancing with the stars. You're dancing with the stars tonight, honey.
Here we go.
I think it's just great that the kids today are getting wise to the facts and what's happening in our government. We are seeing some unparalleled times and time to get fighting. And I'm going to get out running and jogging and stretching and doing everything I have. Hitting, I'll do it all. What was your question? Oh, okay, well, that's easy. That's really easy. We have a carbon tax. We will need a carbon tax because we will have to afford the energies that we're going to be needing. And it will be working out into a wonderful community where we each take care of each other. And we all bond together as a nation. And we're helping our neighbors. We're not segregating. We are uniting together. If your neighbor is needing handouts, we are there to help each other. You know, if your neighbor comes back in the day when I was growing up, if my mother needed a cup of sugar, I would go next door to the neighbor and they would help me. This is what we're talking about.
Oh my gosh, that is just too close. I mean, that's just too close. You did that too well. It's really frightening.
She is a nutcase.
She really is a nut.
I mean, you did that so perfectly. And even the
Great job.
makeup. Oh my gosh. So you're an artist. You have to be. Are you an artist also?
Designer, writer, producer, publicist, director. Hats. A lot of hats.
Oh my goodness sakes. And you're doing all of this. Is that what you do for work in your daily life here in LA?
Oh no! The Trump lady is just a side hobby. Actually, no, I don't take any money or donations. No, I do all this pro bono for my Donald J. Trump, for my president.
That is
That's
so
awesome.
what you are
That's
just so
awesome.
untalented.
You're a
I'm
society
not kidding.
lady. You're the society lady, Trump lady.
Yeah, you gotta have a little mix, a little this, a little of that. Variety is the spice of life.
So you must have more fun studying some of these politicians, especially this one like Elizabeth Warren, because you nailed it. And then you have at the very end there, independent women, which is hilarious because she acts like such a, she's so afraid of her own shadow and she speaks in that soft voice. But what she's
always shaking. She's got
Yeah.
that crazy shake.
Yeah.
When she gets mad, she's like, she gets all crazy.
Yeah,
She's a real psycho.
She goes crazy. She's a little thinks she's a little firecracker, and then all of a sudden she turns into a big dud. Yeah, she's something else. I think seriously, these people either they are rejects from a mental ward, or they're just the most evil people on the planet, and we've got them all.
I used to think that they sold their soul to the devil. I'm starting to think that they sold their mind to science.
Well, Katy Perry sold her soul.
I think they sold their minds to science. They're like brain dead idiots. But yeah, they definitely sold their soul to the devil and their brains to science, these dopes.
That sounds about right.
It's really, really spooky, and you start to see all of this coming out of Hollywood, and you start to hear about Harvey Weinstein, you start hearing about some of the others, people at Nickelodeon, etc., and you see that all of these stories are coming out, and even though they want to, downplay all of it, which they have, I mean, they had which is crazy to me because they're such hypocrites, they had the Me Too movement, which blossomed. That was supposed to be a really great thing. They were going to help victims, give them a place to go, all this stuff. Well, then all of a sudden you started seeing what was happening with Hollywood. Unearthed are all these people. They come out of the dark. Here we've got it all going on. And then now it looks like they are trying that same playbook on, Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson. That came out in the news yesterday.
And
Ed Henry.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
How is that possible? Ed Henry?
My goodness.
They're accusing him of rape and sexual assault. That Kathy Ariu, that liberal, what did Tucker Carlson used to call her? The Sherpa? The liberal Sherpa or something like that?
Yes.
These are some evil, disgusting, rotten
eggs.
I don't even want to call them people.
They're rotten eggs is what they are.
They're the rottenest eggs. And I believe they don't have a daddy. I believe a lot of these people grew up without a daddy and the father didn't instill the values in these people. That's just my opinion. And I really feel when I see the disgusting destruction in the cities, those kids, they're all abandoned kids. Those kids, they grew up either without a father or a home.
I agree with you. I really do. I think it has a lot to do with the upbringing and the way they were raised. And even if they are raised right, let's say, then they go into these liberal colleges and they are completely brainwashed.
Absolutely.
With all of this stuff. I mean, Toots, he will hit on it all day long about what happens when they come out of school. And a lot of the guests that we've had on our show, and a lot of the Mighty 200 that have children, one of them, Let It Rain, she calls it Let It Snow because she's got snowflakes at home. She sent them to college and they came back as liberals. And so she's trying to reverse that, but it's a tough thing to do with them erasing history and everything else.
It is, but I blame, but I think we have to take control of this and really be more proactive, and we have to teach the kids and tell them, and don't be afraid to have the conversation. And the way I like to do it is when you're talking to kids, just say, listen, I'm not right. You're not right. And guess who else ain't right? Your teacher. Just because they're a teacher doesn't mean that they're right. Nobody's right. Everything's an opinion. When your teacher says something, that's great. Take it with a grain of salt. Just like when I say something, I don't want you to believe everything I say either. And that's the only way we're going to get the kids to know. Because right now, they literally are listening to the teachers, and the teachers are telling the kids that your parents don't know. This is what they're telling them. Everything your parents were taught was wrong. I'm the one now teaching them. What I tell you is right. So we have to let them know that that's what's even going on.
It's all about those kids. I'm telling you, it's all about those kids. And once I started this project, I kind of realized, I believe I was watching some reports about the drag queen story hour going on, and where they're having drag queens reading to little kids.
Yes.
I took such offense to that. I felt like, well, there you go. You got to put your foot down. You got to make some statements about that. So I decided, I'm just going to, I'm going to start devoting most of this project to fighting and helping our kids, fighting the pedophiles in this country and the disgusting scourge of human trafficking. Oh, it's beyond belief. So, I mean, and then Hollywood, the whole Hollywood thing, that Hollywood is the most destructive thing for anybody. Anyone who goes into there, you'll lose your soul if you stay. You really will. Yeah. And the James Gunn, the Disney producer or director, James Gunn, all that stuff about the pedophilia, I had to do something. So I had to put pen to paper again and write another dang song and say, hey, keep away from our kids.
Do we have that one?
Well, we should. I think we do.
Let me see. Okay, which one is that one? It's here it is. I've got it. Let's play that one right now.
Good timing. Perfect
timing.
Nice segue. That was a beautiful segue. I mean,
yes. Okay, so let me get this on our screen here.
Just trying to break on through, and these moguls take advantage of new chicken kids to screw. It's disturbing and really hard to understand the mess, but their studio paid credit cards are padding their rape nests. Keep away from our kids, keep away from our kids. Aren't you sick of this stomach trial? Have you ever seen anything more vile than a country embracing pedophiles? No, keep away from our kids. La 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 la. Keep away from our kids. La 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 la. Keep away from our kids. La 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 la. Keep away from our kids. Now we see LGBT barking up the wrong tree. They're calling for man-boy love and adding the letter P. In prison, men are spat upon for messing around with kids. But Hollywood continues on without blowing the lid. If we don't act now, we cannot help the next. Got to sing it loud and send it out in text. Keep away from our kids. Keep away from our kids. Can't you see that a wave must come to deliver us from the Satan son? If we don't act now, we won't get her done. So keep away from our kids. La 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 la. Keep away from our kids. La 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 la. Alejate de nuestros niños. La 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 la. Keep away from them kids. William Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Jimmy Savile too. Allen Ginsberg, Kevin Spacey, Jeffrey Tambor, ew. Patton Oswalt, Lloyd Kaufman, Seth Green and his zoo. James Gunn, you fool The moral of the story here is clear and plain as day. If we don't stick up for our youth, this'll never go away. Our future here is recognized by taking a big stand. Exterminate the pedophiles all across God's land.
Fantastic. Oops, let me.
I like
There we go.
I like the
Wait, hang on a second.
I like the groove you put in there. I like that little Latin beat, that little samba, salsa. That was kind of cool.
That
Very
was
nice.
really great, honestly. I mean, you must have had a good time, even though it was a sore subject. You sang it beautifully, and it was really uplifting.
On such a dark subject too. Isn't that interesting? And I definitely wanted the mix of the Latin flair, and then I wanted to maybe go tropical for the bridge part. And so that's how I kind of came up. That's how I kind of wrote the song. But I wrote it on piano, so I didn't bring out the fun machine until later on, and that's when I found out the good little Latin flavor was exactly what the song needed.
Well,
Yeah,
and the message
was
is very
nice.
clear. Keep away from our kids. I love that, and it's really, really true because
Hashtag it. Hashtag it.
yes, definitely. And we've got the mighties in the house here, and they definitely know what to do with hashtags. I'll tell you, because a lot of us in trouble.
I was gonna do a cover song. Hey, liberals, leave our kids alone. I was gonna do one of that.
Okay. That's exactly what we need. We need more calling it out. The more we call it out, the less of a conspiracy theory it is, right?
That's right, exactly. That's what the Democrats do all the time. They do the exact opposite. Like they keep on calling things a conspiracy theory, and it becomes the conspiracy theory. You know, like QAnon, this and that, whatever they want to do, whoever they want to do. Trump's a racist, and they say it over and over again, and the lie becomes the truth. We have to start. We're afraid. Nobody on our side is afraid. We're all afraid to say anything. No, we can't defend Trump. We can't defend anything that the Democrats say, and then the lie becomes the truth when we don't. You know, when you don't combat it. You know,
It's pure projection. That's exactly what they're doing. Whatever they're guilty of, whatever they're guilty of, they'll blame us for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's really true. And I don't know if you guys saw what happened today, but Twitter, I don't know if it happened today, but Can You See Meow sent me something from Twitter Safety. And they came out and said, we've been clear that we will take strong enforcement action on behavior that has the potential to lead to offline harm. In line with this approach, this week we are taking further action on so-called QAnon activity across the service.
That's disturbing.
You see how they do that?
Yeah, I know.
Like, hey, Twitter, leave us kids alone.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to drop it into chat, and I'm going to share it with you guys so you guys can check it out and look at it, because this is what they are doing. They are controlling the narrative, and they don't want anything about QAnon. Well, Chrissy was the one that started talking about it originally. Remember, she said she threatened, Chrissy Teigen threatened to leave Twitter if they didn't get rid of the QAnon conspiracy, because her name was on the flight logs and all of that mess.
Well, what the Republicans should come out and say is, listen, if you are on there, then you are going to have then this Twitter needs to pay. There should be a major lawsuit for defamation against Twitter. Because if she's getting her lawsuit basically saying it was defamation against me, what they said, take them down. If it's true, and then you said that they were wrong, it's a converse it. And now Twitter's got to be sued and they should be held liable. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. The Republicans suck. I can't even stand them. They don't know how to play the game, and they just think they're the worst. They are the worst representatives. We are a representative republic, and unfortunately, our representatives are a bunch of nothings. They don't represent nothing. They suck. I can't stand them.
Well,
and we need fighters, man. And
we
just
do.
don't have it.
But here's something that you got. I'm going to continue on this thread. Twitter safety. We will permanently suspend accounts tweeting about these topics that we know are engaged in violations of our multi-account policy, coordinating abuse around individual victims, or are attempting to evade a previous suspension, something we've seen more of in recent weeks. In addition, we will no longer serve content and accounts associated with QAnon in trends and recommendations. 2, work to ensure we're not highlighting this activity in search and conversations. 3, block URLs associated with QAnon from being shared on Twitter. These actions will be rolled out comprehensively this week. We will continue to review this activity across our service and update our rules and enforcement approach again if necessary.
Where is the
Here we go.
Republicans?
As we work at scale to protect the public conversation in the face of evolving threats, we'll continue to lead with transparency and offer more context
What is
on
this?
our efforts. There
Oh
you
my
have
gosh.
it.
What
These
is that?
These Silicon Valley demon rats and technocrats,
Yeah.
they're out for blood.
They're techno-Nazis is what they are. They're
Techno-Nazis.
techno-Nazis.
Techno rats. Yeah.
These are reincarnated Nazis, man. I've been saying this for 12 years.
I
And
tell
if
you,
people don't see it now, I don't know what else you need to understand who these people are.
Censorship's gotten so bad.
And this
Censorship
And
everywhere on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. You can't even post a nice picture of Trump. They'll say, "Oh, the week goes against our guidelines." Oh, where do they get off?
It's really incredible. And this is not your first account. I remember when you lost your original account, I could not believe it. You had quite a following.
I had 18,000 followers, and Twitter just took them all away from me for Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
That was the trick. I guess you got the trick.
It's like, happy Halloween. Let's take away your wig and your account, huh?
Well, we are here to help rebuild that account. And so
I appreciate so much, you guys.
Absolutely.
You know, it was so bad again. It got to a point where I just said, screw this. It's time to write another song. And so I wrote a song about the dang Silicon Valley techno rats and what we've all gone through from the moment he came down that escalator to this point. I felt I needed to encapsulate in music and lyric, and out came another one.
So here we go.
And here we go.
This one.
The segue. You're the segue queen.
Sociopathic social media.
So is this the SS Media one?
Yep.
All right.
SS stands for
SS me.
sociopathic social media.
Yes, and it also goes to the SS, which was the Nazi
Exactly.
stormtroopers.
I wanted to confuse people.
There we go. Okay, so here we go. We are with Trump Lady tonight, you guys. And make sure that you are following on Twitter. Here we go.
Left to our own devices was just how the saying rang, till that fateful escalator, and we formed a MAGA chain gang, while following our leader, sharing truth through memes and links. Some were banned and held as prisoner, with their voices snuffed in sync, saying, please don't ban me, sociopathic. Social media, it's those folks who make you sick, based on how they're treating you. Every time we tell the left they're wrong, or to look it up, they scream on sociopathic social media. The tech giants were called to Congress to lie about their scheme, and we find out they had meetings with the California Moonbeam team. along with Kamala Harris. The techno rats hit an all-time low. They were planning to get triggered, so our First Amendment would go. Now we're the ones who are screaming sociopathic. Social media, it's those folks who make you sick based on how they're treating ya. Every time we tell the left they're wrong or to look it up, they scream on sociopathic social media. Surrounded by these sociopathics on social media. It's those folks who make you sick based on how they're treating ya. And every time we tell the left they're wrong or to look it up, they scream on sociopathic social media. Yeah, every time we tell the left they're wrong or to look it up, they scream on sociopathic social media. They scream on sociopathic social
Love that.
Nice job, Trump lady. You know what it was sounding like in the beginning? I don't know if it went the whole way, but in the beginning it was starting to remind me a little bit of Morrissey. I don't know if you're familiar with Morrissey.
I certainly am.
It had a little bit of that in there, which is kind of cool. I used to love Morrissey back in the day, and the Smiths. But
you are really talented. When did you start playing music and getting into all of this? Just from the beginning? You were just born with this, or what?
Well, I started probably doing voices at a very early age, like 5 or 6. And the songwriting came around 11 or 12. And I wasn't really writing. I just started playing the piano at summer camp. All the kids are playing outside, and I'm in there fascinated by the piano. So I started writing and tinkering around with that. And that's how it all started, really.
So this is just a love of yours now. It's a hobby, and it's really kind of an escape as well. I mean, you're really, some of your skits too, we haven't even gotten to all of your skits, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get to any of them tonight, but we're going to definitely have you back. But they can go to your page and check them out. You posted 3 of them that are fantastic. I looked at them before the show, but I want to make sure that everybody can follow you on Twitter. And her handle is at Trump Talk 1. So that's at TRUMPTALK 1. So make sure that you're following on Twitter, you guys. That will help. It will help, especially with the fact that you're on account number 2, thanks to our good blue friend, the bird.
It's like you say, it's a great hobby because I can adapt into music if I need to. I can adapt into comedy or sketch or just straight news.
They call that the triple threat, when you could do the music, you can act, and you can do and do comedy. So it looks like you got all 3 of those down.
Well, I've loved all of them all my life, so I'm glad I'm able to do something to contribute to the greatest moment of our lives, people. It's the best time to be alive.
It really,
is.
And that's
We're
the
all
important part.
Together.
Yeah, we're all in this together, and the important part is you're using your talent, your craft to basically help and do your part to help this country. Listen,
I can wake someone up. Yeah.
Yeah, we all can't join the military. We all can't be police officers. We all can't run for office. We all can't be president. But what can you do? We all can do something as an American. We all can do something. So think about what it is and just do it, and it all helps. Talking to people.
You make your own videos, get them out there. It doesn't matter if you've got a voice, use it.
That's right. They do memes like the Mighty 200. They're very their big thing is the memes.
I love the memes.
And getting the word out on the social media. So that's great. Every part plays itself. If you're doing music, but nobody's doing memes and nobody's actually out there promoting it on the internet, it doesn't matter. So it's all of us are working together to push it forward and to just wake people up. It's all about education. We're just trying to educate people.
It's the ultimate work in progress. Building America back up from what we lost here. It's the ultimate work in progress, and I'm happy to do it.
We always seem to be building America up from what liberals did to us. So here you had New York. Giuliani built up New York after the Democrats destroyed it.
There you go.
Built it up to beautiful. And what does this idiot do? He literally brought us right back to when right before Giuliani took over. And
that
Trump,
just means we're just going to build it back up
better
and stronger than it was before.
Exactly. And the exact opposite is happening with Trump. So here's Obama totally destroyed America, and Trump literally dismantled everything he did to make America great. So when you dismantle everything Giuliani did, you make New York look like this. When you dismantle everything Obama did, you make America great again. How do you not see this? This is what it's plain and simple for everybody to see. But anyway, what a great time. What a great time to meet you.
You know what's really fantastic, though, is that we're starting to see a new culture emerge. And this is where you and Toots really fit into that group, is with your talents, with the music, with your skits and all that you do. Really, we are so hungry on our side for really good patriots that are talented. And the talent is there. It's just making sure that we get the recognition for you guys so that you guys can continue doing this. Because really, I don't want to do anything with Hollywood. I haven't been to a movie. I don't buy their music. I don't watch their television shows. I don't do any of that because they make me sick. I sound like Toots. He's rubbing off on me. They make me sick. They're disgusting. I want to puke.
Are disgusting.
Yes. That's really how I feel. So I would much rather be able to go to a place, and that's really what we're trying to do on this show. So I hope you will come back. And
I would love to come back.
And that would be great, because we want to show these talents of yours.
And maybe next time I can just be myself, and we'll do a little different impersonations of some men, maybe some, who knows. We'll just throw a different variety up.
You're in charge. You let us know what you want to do.
Don't forget to play my Constitution video.
We're gonna play that's how we're going to end this show.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We enjoyed having you on the show.
If you want, stick around. We'll play the Constitution song. We'll say our goodbyes, and then we'll go off. All right,
sure, I'm not going anywhere. I'll hang out.
Perfect. Okay, so let me get this one queued up for everybody. This is
you said queued.
Oh, whoops. I don't know.
Now what? These dumb idiots.
I'm probably gonna have to completely reword my language. I know we have
disgusting scuzzballs.
People that don't even know this channel the first time. We have different words that we use now, and I know they're like, "What kind of language are they talking?" Because we have words for everything now. So here we go. Constitution song by Trump Lady. Here we are.
Uphold our Constitution. while censorship keeps riding on the line. We kick back and we wait for all the signs, and they're right under our noses, sweeping us under the rug. Our right to bear arms goes right into hands of urban thugs. We must uphold our Constitution in hopes of better dreams. Don't let our land and union come apart right at the seams. Even though we may be far away from defeat, uphold our Constitution and take heed. Protect our Constitution in hopes of better dreams. Don't let our land and union come apart right at the seams. Even though we may be far away from defeat.
All right.
You really have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
You absolutely do. And that has been echoed in the chat room too, many times.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very, very, I'm honored to just be here and doing my thing. I'm happy. I'm so happy I could cry right now.
Oh,
We
don't
are
cry, don't cry.
thrilled to have you, honestly. And I'm so happy that you're going to join us again, because you have got a whole bunch of fans in the chat room, and there are a lot of people have just started following your new account. So we're just
everyone.
thrilled. We are just happy that you're with us
But,
tonight.
yeah, really, what a pleasure to have you on with us. Thank you so much.
Oh,
for
it was
spending
my
time.
pleasure too, and thank you for having
Awesome.
me.
And just so you
Awesome.
guys know too, Trump Lady is in the music room, in the Mighty 200 music room, and is really doing a fantastic job. So, and I know Tweety Pie is doing a great job in there, as well as are some of the other Mighties, and they are dropping a lot of the Saturday tweets on the weekend. That's when they showcase a lot of the talent from that group. There are some amazing people.
Shout out to my Tweety Pie.
Isn't she wonderful?
Yes, she is.
She really is so special. And her husband, actually, his song, the coronavirus song, opened up the show. So I thought it was perfectly fitting the way that worked out tonight.
That's great.
Yes. All right, you guys. So great show
Great time.
tonight. Trump Lady, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
Jules, you want to tell them what we got for tomorrow?
we do. We have a lot going on tomorrow. We have the Mighty 200 who is going to join us. They're going to be live here in person. We have Trey Gibbs from group number 7. We have Karen. Yeah. And we have Hispanics for Trump 3. So, Toots, you better have that song put together.
Oh, no.
That's all I have to say. Because he will be on the show to talk to you about why you don't, if not. So.
Tell them alejate de nuestros niños. Teach them about the kid. Keep away from our kids.
There
That's
you
right.
go. Oh, so you guys,
Or we
great
kick you in the
show.
culo. Yes, what a great time. That was amazing. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We really love you all. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's the afternoon show, 12 noon, New York City time.